Hey guys, so today's video is a response to the recent damage control that was done to my Funny Marco video and to my Jaidyn, Alexis, and Druski video. So a few weeks ago, I made a video on Funny Marco being Chris Tucker. Here's a side by side, they look identical to each other, it's undeniable. Here's another side by side, they even share these same lips, they look exactly alike, it's crazy. I mean, think about it, they're both comedians, everything just match up with these two characters. Now, he's also Julius Randle, okay? So, this Funny Marco character had the audacity to comment under the video that I made about him being Chris Tucker and Julius Randle. And I say had the audacity to because what's the point to do damage control or response to this one if he's admitted it himself that he's Julius Randle and has basically alluded to the idea that he is Chris Tucker. In a subtle way, he's admitted that he is Chris Tucker, okay? What is the point of doing damage control to this video or even responding to it if you've already admitted that you're these characters? So this was his comment 2-3 weeks ago on my video. He said, love the video, do a part 2, tell them I got 7 kids please, okay? So I'm going to explain this comment to you guys because it took me a while to respond to this because I wanted to really dissect this comment and basically use discernment when looking at this because these characters speak in a lot of code, okay? So one thing I want you guys to notice is that every letter is lowercase. And I know people are gonna be like, well, it's a comment section, people don't care about grammar, blah, 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 right? But that doesn't excuse the detail that's here, okay? We see that even I, because he referred to himself, I is lowercase. Even in a comment section, people capitalize I, at least. Even with autocorrect, they correct that. What I want to point out, because this is a really big detail, and since I've been doing these videos for like 2-3 years now, I've noticed that every detail matters to the T. It's an encoded message. So all the letters are lowercase. I think this is symbolic towards this character being lower than us. I do believe that celebrities are lower entities. I've said this in countless other videos. I even have titles calling them like demons. Also, we see that this is a backhanded type of comment. Whenever someone says things like love the video, it's fake, okay? That's a really small detail everyone should catch on to. It's like when someone says love you versus if someone said I love you. Both have two different energies behind it. If a person came up to you and they say, oh, I like your shirt, that sounds better than like your shirt. You see the energy? It's different. So something I've noticed in my personal life dealing with people, fake people, is that fake people, when they say love you, they don't really love you, okay? When they say love your hair instead of saying I love your hair, they don't really like it. They're just giving a false and a backhanded compliment, and that's what's going on here, okay? Another thing is instead of spelling out the number 2 or the number 7, he typed them. And they're so close to each other that it seems like this number 27 is symbolic. And I'm gonna talk about that number later into this video, so I recommend you guys watch this video all the way through. He also says, please. So guys, like I said, I've been doing this for 2 to 3 years now. I've got multiple response from these characters. And one thing that I noticed is that sometimes they beg for another video about them or they beg for me to do a video on someone else. If you guys go watch all my Kai and Duke Dennis videos, I show a clip where Kai is showing Duke Dennis my video, and at the end of that clip, they start begging that I do a video on Duke Dennis.
Who's Duke Dennis? Please tell me. Make a video of who's Duke Dennis. I want to know who this nigga is.
Moneybag, the baby, and Duke Dennis is the same
person. Nah, get this nigga Duke Dennis though. I need to know.
So these characters, for some reason, like to beg for us to do a video on them. Maybe they like being exposed because nobody else is exposing them. The internet's completely gatekept and protected. You have all these fake tea channels that want to talk about celebrities or whatever, but they're only pushing the narrative that the mass media wants. That's not exposing anything, that's fake. And then we have all these, Illuminati, all this BS type of channels, and they're not exposing nothing. They're just pushing a narrative that the mass media want. You know, there's so much deception that people aren't even awakening to this. And I point this out because I've been asking this since the very beginning. Why do these characters respond to our videos? You have to think, I've been getting responses and I don't even have that many subscribers. Why would they respond to me? I said this before. With my first ever response video, I said it was to the character Dean the Great because he had responded to my video about him being DDG. And I had said this character has people who like him, have people who are tagging them 24/7, they never respond. People who are DMing them 24/7, they never respond. They even have these little tea channels because some people think, oh, we're just talking mess about them, we're just talking pointless things. But all those channels are out here and they talk all the mess and all the stuff about them, but get no response or reaction from them. Why is that? Because they're pushing the narrative that they want everybody to see, while our content is pushing a narrative that they didn't want the media to see. That's something that I've realized throughout this time period of doing this, because I question all the time, why are they responding? And I hope you guys know it does not feel good when they respond. They have some negative, weird energy, and that's why it always takes me time to get back to responding to this stuff. And I know a lot of you guys have been waiting for me to talk about this one. This is crazy. I didn't expect this. I didn't expect for his character to respond, but I knew that when I did that video, Intuition, I knew that one of these characters were going to do something, some type of damage control. But I didn't think that there would be a direct response to my video. We see also with this comment that he says, tell them I got 7 kids, please. All sarcasm. They speak in sarcasm and encrypted code, bottom line. That's what I've realized. And on the topic towards these responses being nasty, they send an energy. Everything is energetic. I've noticed that throughout my time of doing this, it be taking me a while to respond to the damage control they be doing. It's too much and it's crazy. But I respond to damage control and I show you guys this because maybe that's what some people need to see for them to finally understand the video and understand the content. I knew there was something deeper to his response, his comment, so I decided to enter his comment in the gematria calculator. And the first match that I got was to Order Out of Chaos with 581 in a reverse Satanic cipher and in the cipher X cipher. The next match that I got was Satan Worship, and this also matched with 581 and the reverse Satanic and cipher X cipher. So I found this one to be pretty interesting because Satan is Santa and Santa is Saturn. So a lot of people, when they hear the devil or Satan, they think it's some type of man with horns and all this stuff, but it's more of an entity or a thing over something. So for example, like the middle finger is Saturn, and that's why they throw up the middle finger all the time. Saturn is Father Time, this place that we live in. One thing I know that's a fact is that this place is run off of time. And time is like hell, okay? And they worship Saturn, Satan, Santa to the T here. And this place is even referred to as the Saturnian Matrix. So pretty interesting that this comment matched to Satan worship. Also, I made a video on Patreon about Santa being Saturn and Satan, and it's a really good video. I don't feel like going in full detail right now about it, but it's a really good video. I recommend you guys go check out the Patreon for exclusive content. So Father Time deals with time. Time is the controller, the slave master of this place that we live in. And time is such an interesting topic to talk about because time seems like it's slipping nowadays. It's just moving so fast, and I've been noticing this since 2021, but it has just been super extreme, and I don't know if any of you guys out there have been feeling that, but something's going on with time. All right, and when time is being sped up, I think people start to go kind of crazy. I think we all start to go kind of crazy. I recommend you guys go check out the movie In Time. It's a really good movie about time. The next match is Hermetic Order with 459 in the Latin and Latin ordinal cipher. So Hermetic Order is a book. I found this online. That's the only thing I could find at the moment. And I also thought about the Hermit. That's why I added the picture right there. If I'm not mistaken, in tarot cards, the Hermit is associated with the number 9, and we see that in his comment, he uses the numbers 2 and 7, which equal 9. So I think that's an interesting connection. Another match is the ancient and accepted Scottish rite of Freemasonry, a match with 212 in the reduction and single reduction cipher. This is also a book, okay? These are both books. So there's some type of pattern going on here, and this is why I said earlier, this comment is encoded. I don't even fully know what this character is even saying, and I don't even try to think that hard about it. I don't really care. I know that there's more depth to everything that they say because they do a lot of double, triple speak, you know. The list goes on with how much they speak in code. So moving on, something I found pretty interesting but kind of creepy. I made this video about Funny Marco only because he was the character that initiated the damage control towards my Druski is Blueface baby mama Jaidyn Alexis video, okay? I made that video, and then next thing you know, Jaidyn Alexis is being interviewed by Funny Marco. Then, after that, I decided to make a video on Funny Marco, and he decides to comment under the video I made about him. But something that gets even crazier is that in his comment under my video about him, he uses the number 2 and the number 7. That's 27. This all started from this character being involved in the damage control towards my Jaidyn Alexis and Druski video. And in that video, guys, this is crazy. In that video, months ago, I connected how Stewie and Jaidyn had the same gematria of 27. So what is the chances that he uses the number 27 in his comment? And 27 equals 9. I probably said this in the Jaidyn Alexis video. She might be a death faker. Someone in the Blueface characters, Christian Rock, his baby mama, and Blueface, they might be death fakers. Something crazy might go on there. I don't know. And then he comments using 27, and I had said in my video how he may even be a death faker. And it was so much damage control, it was insane. Druski left a comment on the post that Funny Marco posted to promote the interview with Jaidyn Alexis, and he said, "Forgot I even did this interview." This is insane damage control. And you know, this happened along with other damage control that's been happening with other characters that I exposed. I haven't been able to get to all the damage control, so this one I decided to combine it, and everything works out where these two things could just be combined because oddly they're connected. All 3 of these characters are connected. So in Funny Marco's comment on my video about him, he leaves the number 2 and 7 in his comment, which is 27. 27 breaks down to 9. At a certain point in that video, I mentioned how Funny Marco follows only 999 people. If you guys are new to my channel, I recommend you subscribe now, because the people here that are already subscribed to the channel that watch, they already know that 9s are associated with a death faker. It's called 27 Club because it equals 9. 9 is associated with the N. Death fakers are always associated with 9s. I've been sharing this with you guys for a while now. It dates back to probably my Elvis video. Elvis equaled 99 in gematria, death faker. And then it was confirmed when I did the Elizabeth video. And when I say confirmed, I mean with myself, because I was like, these are weird connections. you see like, it was like all just, I guess you can say a line in a sense. I was doing videos back to back during that time, and I kept noticing these death fakers are connected to nines. And then that's when I was just like, you know what? Nines are associated with death fakers. Bottom line, it's a totem. And then 27 Club, it equals 9. That's why they made a club out of it. And they make such a big deal out of it. They're mocking people's ignorance of not knowing this. So many characters have been connected to nines. Juice WRLD, he repped 999, death faker. And it's either going to be with gematria, it's either going to be with them repping the number, or it's going to be something subtle. And this is why I bring up speaker knockers a lot when I talk about this, because it was subtle. He has a picture where he's standing in front of a sign that has 99 on it. Death faker, come on. So you guys look out for that. That's like a totem. There's so many totems of a death faker that I figured out over the span of doing this content that I might as well just make a video of all the totems. And I just think it's so crazy that I mentioned how he's connected to 999 and he might be a death faker. Anybody in this group of characters could be a death faker, Chris Tucker, any of them. And he comments with 27, which is 9. It all started from this. I think that's just the craziest thing about it. And something I don't understand is that why when me and Conscious X make a video, because something, hold on, before I get to that, something I noticed is that nowadays, they've been admitting to bots, the masses, who these characters are, especially these new characters. And maybe because we haven't just been getting to things in time, and like I said about time, it's moving by too fast. So we just have not had a chance to get to it, right? And they are making so many pointless, stupid characters that don't even matter, that don't have longevity. And in my opinion, I find it sometimes just pointless to do a video on these new characters because they seem like they're not even going to be around long. They make so many characters nowadays because people are like kind of desensitized and need the next drug instantly, that they make so many characters and then delete them off the world stage and make another one. And it's like, it just seems pointless for me to try to expose a character that's not going to be around long. And that's what I thought with this Jaidyn, Alexis, and Druski thing. I didn't think that these characters really even mattered to people. And what I've noticed is that they've been showing who these characters are on the world stage. I mean, think about it. With the red character in Young Thug, Druski, and Jaidyn, Alexis, they've admitted who these characters are to people. Now, that's showing me a few things. That's showing me that the mass population is dumbed down to the fullest. That's also showing me that they want to control the narrative. And when I say control the narrative, I mean, they're trying to just say that they look alike. And I guess that's why we probably get attacked for our videos. We're not saying that they look alike. We're saying that the motherfucker is literally them, okay? Like, they're literally the same person. And when I say same person, you have to think deeper. I'm not saying that Druski is I'm not saying he's like a real person playing this person. I'm saying that when they made these characters, when they made these things in the lab or wherever they make them, there's sim characters. If you go play Sims, you can design a character. When they make them in that little simulator or whatever, they use a base template. And that's my theory of it. They use a base template, and when they made Jaidyn, Alexis, the base template that they used was Druski. And then they just did some edits, some tweaks, and then bam, put him on the world stage. And that's what they do all the time, so many times. And nowadays, these characters just look super recycled. And I know people be like, why would they recycle looks? Familiarity. They get people through what's familiar. This could also tie into people looping back here. They are just repeating the same stuff over and over. They recycle music. Music is samples on samples on samples. And they're kind of like their music. They're samples on samples on samples. And this is really deep. And I know if you've been watching the channel for a long time, you're probably like me, where it just seems like second nature now. And you probably don't really like you just know that they're all fake until you're like, whatever. But to new people, and I like to think about it like this sometimes because it gives me motivation to keep doing these videos. To new people, this blows away your entire reality. Because I remember the first time I seen this type of stuff, it blew away my entire reality. I was like, you know, blown away. It's like crazy. And it should be, because things are not what they seem. And that's something that I've learned from doing this over time, is that things are not what they seem, and that people use celebrities to cope. That people are attached to celebrities because they don't have fulfillment in their own lives. Back to what I was saying about them admitting who these characters are before we even say anything. I think that's damage control to all of us who have been doing this content, because no one was talking about this before this genre of content came out. You know, they'll do this thing in the mass media like look-alike, but nowadays it's as if they're trying to pose as if they're doing the same thing that we're all doing. And that's insane. That's infiltrating. They're infiltrating. That's crazy. So what I've noticed is that when they push something or they say something, bots don't attack. But when any of us say anything, they attack. Isn't that crazy? When I say anything, they attack. When I make this video, people come to my comment section, oh, you're crazy, Divine. Oh, shut up, Divine. Literally. And this goes with Young Thug and Red. I've seen Conscious X comments about this, where he didn't even say it first. They've showed it first. And all their comments about them being lookalikes are all like, you know, positive, and people agree and think it's funny. But let Conscious X make a video about it. Attack. So it's like people support any narrative they push, but when a real narrative is pushed, people deny. So I think the reason why they're pre-showing people who characters are before we even get the chance to expose them is so that damage control could be pre-done already. And this is what you call damage control. There's so much symbolism in this thumbnail. The orange glasses, Masonry 33. His hat is crooked. That must be symbolic to something. And then he's doing a chin thing. That's also symbolism. Her shirt says red. Well, her hoodie says red. And red is the lowest chakra, root chakra. And this is the comment, and this is insane. Like, I can't even process that this one has a response. I mean, he's admitted it himself. It doesn't make sense where there's responses with things that they've admitted themselves. And that goes for this video too. They admitted it themselves. And then they respond. It's really petty. So thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe. Make sure you join the Patreon. Thank you guys so much for watching. I truly appreciate you guys so much. Thank you.